Hello and welcome to SUPS magazine. My name is Carrie and we're here at SUPS headquarters with GoCardless founder Hiroki. How are you, darling?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
It's great. It's so nice to see you. We've had a bit of a chat already where we sat and talked about how you came into GoCardless and the issue. We'll go straight into it because I love this story. There was an issue you felt. First of all, you taught himself coding, which I didn't even know was a thing, but you studied maths.
Yeah, I studied maths.
And then you went into coding.
Yeah.
So your background is finance and tech-based technically now.
Well, yeah, I guess so now.
And that, but
you learn on the job.
I was going to say, for me, I didn't realise that you can actually self-teach, but you're saying really it's the only way to do it once you're
most people self-teach themselves coding. Like most people get into it when they're like, 11 or 12 years old.
So you're like a veteran.
Yeah, I'm like an old person when it comes to programming.
Like in dog years. This was the thing, because for you and your two co-founders, you didn't like the fact that there wasn't anything out there that was a good way of taking group payments.
Yeah, exactly. We built like a really simple website that was built on top of PayPal.
Right.
That helped you to manage those kind of group payments. So it was basically just a way of like sending someone a request for money and then keeping track of whether they paid it or not.
Did you think that, well, this is the sort of thing me and my mates will use? Did you really think that it would go as big as it did?
Well, I didn't get big at all. It didn't go anywhere.
So what did you learn from that?
Well, we learned about the problems that we're facing now and the problems that we're tackling with GoCardless, and we learned about how to get feedback from your customers and find out whether there's something that people want or whether you're just chasing something that's never going to go anywhere.
Now, is your demographic an age demographic or is it a finance?
No, I mean we serve a really wide range of businesses. So I mean mainly we help businesses, and we serve people all the way from really small startups that have got one or two customers all the way up to bigger companies that are taking payments from thousands of people.
Good Lord. And how many of you work on this?
There's 23 of us at the moment.
That's quite, for me that's a substantial amount of people to have on staff. Considering you started in 2011.
Yeah, I mean we've grown pretty quickly.
I would say, how do you manage to keep up? Is there a pressure with that if you have 23 people that you're financing, that you're paying their salaries?
Yeah, I mean that's where investment comes in, and that's.
How did you secure investment initially?
So the first money we got was from this accelerator program, Y Combinator, that I was telling you about before.
Yeah.
And it's basically like an incubator program.
Right.
And they give you a small amount of money to help you feed yourself while you're building things.
How much can a person live on then, if they're going to pay their own salary? How do you even decide that initially when there's not a lot coming out? Do you have that discussion with your founders? Do you co-founders?
Yeah, I mean initially we didn't pay ourselves anything.
How can you survive doing that? How long did it last?
Well, you just live very frugally and don't do much.
And you only work anyway, so
exactly.
It's all right.
And then we were doing that for about 6 months before we got any kind of money.
So where are you going from here? I mean, things are growing so fast and you're going to have to adapt to the way that it is taking off. What do you have planned for 2014? Where's it going to go?
So for us, it's we're going to be expanding across Europe and like taking payments across Europe. So there's kind of geographical expansions, and then it's really about growing the kind of customers that you serve and serving bigger and bigger customers.
Do you feel like you learn new things every day?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, every day is different.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the business looks different every day, so that you learn from the mistakes that you make. You learn from the changes that you see in the way that your people interact as the team grows bigger. There's always something to learn. Because
obviously a lot of our viewers are students and recent graduates, and I know that a lot of people feel that being an entrepreneur or working for their own business, it's not something open to them. Like you say, might not be a viable option. Can anyone run their own business and be their own boss? Yeah,
I mean, I think that as long as you have the right kind of motivation and the right hunger to learn, then it's absolutely something that people can do. I think there's no like one qualification that you can point to that would make you well equipped to start your own business. I think this is one of those things that you have to go through and learn yourself.
Now we discussed, obviously you'll have a look on our written interview and you'll see that we discussed you going over to Silicon Valley and meeting all these people that already live the startup dream. Is there any one piece of advice that you were given that really sticks out for you, that you pass on to other younger people?
One piece, that's a tough one.
Sorry.
There's lots of advice that you get. I think that it's funny that some of the more seemingly generic advice really takes on more and more meaning as you go along. And so I remember one of the main things that Paul Graham, who's the guy that runs Y Combinator, what told us that he told us this so many times, and it's just like make something people want, and that's like a really generic, simple piece of advice.
Yeah. And
it seems at the start like it's not that useful, but it kind of comes back into everything that you do so often that for me would be probably the advice that really like stands out.
And you have made something that people want, and of
So
course,
far,
have a look, follow you on Twitter. What's your Twitter name?
It's at Hiroki Takeuchi.
There you go. Come and say hi, and of course, thank you so much for coming to see us at SUPS, making something people want. Remember that. Thank you so much. Bye bye.